This is an economic report presented by Kiesha Hawkins. U.S. work-share programs help employers avoid layoffs. Businesses that need to cut their staffing costs face a hard choice of cutting employee hours or laying people off. But more recently, more states have started looking at a third option, work sharing. This approach is saving jobs domestically and abroad, and with the U.S. economy slowing and unemployment edging up, it's time for businesses to take action to encourage work sharing nationwide. In a typical work sharing arrangement, employees work up to 40% fewer hours per week and accept a small cut in pay. States use unemployment insurance funds to make up for a portion of the wage cut, while businesses are expected to kick in the rest. It's a simple idea. Distribute the diminished amount of available work across a company's broader workforce. Work sharing is not the final fix. It is a good public policy because jobless benefits are used to encourage businesses to retain employees they would otherwise be forced to fire or let go. The article that I've chosen to talk about is about businesses in Bristol, Rhode Island having to cut hours of their workers instead of cutting jobs. The article speaks specifically of St. Gobain. It's a plastics company who is now offering partial employment as a result of the shortened work weeks. Rhode Island is one of more than 24 states now using free federal dollars to experiment with this kind of unemployment insurance in reverse, paying to keep their workers instead of supporting them after they get laid off. With the current status of the economy, it's not shocking that almost half of the states are embracing this concept, including Oklahoma. The main thought that business owners are thinking of is the fact that some people will take some hits, but it is not half as bad as losing their jobs. This article can be related to the economic theory in many different ways. The first would be that in this situation, it could be used to conduct a positive analysis. The managers working on a solution to the problem of people losing their jobs would need to ask the questions of, 1, if the government participates in work sharing, how many jobs will really be saved? And 2, if the government supports work sharing with businesses, how many businesses will participate and would it be worth the time and the money? There are many positives for companies that implement this arrangement. The benefits are that workers would still be employed, they would receive one additional day off work, and therefore would have more time to devote to family or hobbies. The funds enable companies to hang on to experienced workers while they wait for the economy to improve. But the work sharing model also has been criticized from different angles for being too rigid and insufficient in the current situation. Some economists believe that this is just a temporary fix to a major problem, which I also tend to agree to. There are many downsides also from the program, such as paperwork. In order for companies to be a part of the program, an extensive amount of paperwork must be maintained. And this could be seen in some of the owners' eyes as an inconvenience, and they would rather just lay them off as an easier alternative. I've not had to deal with this on a professional level, but every year there's always talks of shortening the school week to 4 days due to budget cuts. Our administrators came together. I know a couple years back we had this problem, and our administrators came together and they had to look and evaluate the situation to find out what would be the best solution for all parties involved. Due to the budget cuts, we really wanted to keep our teachers, and so they decided to look at the top and see whether they could eliminate people from the administrative building first. That way that we could keep the valuable teachers in the classrooms instead of letting them go. Also, it was a good idea to cut from the top because we didn't have to shorten the work week, which in turn hurts the students. So from dealing with that, I'm able to look and see what questions our administrators had to ask and how they went about conducting a positive analysis in order to come out with the best situation for everybody involved. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Here's a list of my references. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the forum.